Hi everyone, JJ here. Welcome back. Well, disenchanted, disappointed Elon Musk fans are leading a boycott of Tesla products, it seems. I'll show you some evidence for that, and later on we'll look at what Elon Musk is doing with DOGE that's annoying a lot of people, and people are pushing back, starting to, and even the courts are. And we'll get into what his ultimate goal might be with DOGE beyond what he's actually said. So let's get into it. So this headline here, Tesla sells for 60% in Germany as owner Elon Musk continues to back far-right AfD party in Germany. Nobody wants to be associated with that. And my previous videos, I've looked at this fall, not just in Germany, but in different countries around the world of Tesla products. Sales are definitely going down, or at least they're starting to in a substantial way, especially in Europe. Now, if we read this tweet here, it says Europeans are boycotting and rejecting Tesla. The sales have come down significantly for one reason: Elon Musk. The crony capitalists manipulating the governments for their greed and lust for power need to be reminded that their future is ultimately in the hands of ordinary people who buy their products. And it really does hurt Elon Musk at will to not buy his products. Perhaps it's the one thing. He's the richest person in the world, and he has a lot of political power too now. So this tweet from Anonymous: Tesla sales in Germany have plummeted almost 60%. Sales in other countries are also dropping fast. That is true. Elon Musk is currently the second most hated oligarch on earth after helping coup d'etat the United States and Sieg Heiling in front of millions in celebration. Calls to boycott Musk products are global. We see some graphics associated with that. And here a headline which I've shown before in videos: backlash. Elon Musk's far-right politics are tanking Tesla sales. And this headline from Electric, which I've shown before: Tesla sales dropped 60% in Germany. That has just come out last week, the news for that. And this tweet here: make Europe great again, boycott Tesla. So this boycott taking hold in social media. I've seen quite a few things about it now. This sign is actually from New Zealand, where I live, but he's applying it to Europe. So this is starting to be global. F off fascist was written, and things like this are appearing. Your Tesla funds fascism. People starting to group and unite about this. And this week, Tesla boycott is gaining momentum in Europe. And here we see some of the sales figures indicating that the sales going down are because Elon Musk and his far-right politics, increasingly far-right, although he's MAGA, but some of the tweets that he has, some of the conspiracy theories are definitely farther right than he has been saying in the past. And this tweet breaking from the Politics video channel: the government of Poland just called for boycotts of Elon Musk's Tesla car company. This could cost Tesla hundreds of millions of dollars. So it's a government speaking out. And I've seen an Australian politician also saying similar things of not supporting Tesla products, and Starlink as well. People are starting to cut off Starlink because of this. So this is really going to hit Elon Musk's wealth. Perhaps what could hurt him the most if this actually takes root. There is no justification for any reasonable Pole to continue purchasing Teslas. A serious and strong response is necessary, including a consumer boycott, Nitris told Polish media. So he's a Polish politician, I understand it. And from Electric: Tesla cars crash in another market, and this time it can't blame Model Y. That's from Electric recently. And the reason that he's talked about Model Y is there because there's a refresh of Model Y. They put out a video yesterday, and they're saying that the sales are down because people are waiting. But in Australia, that's not the case, because Model Y sales were actually up. It was a Model 3 that went down. So there are other reasons in many places. We'll have to see as figures come out, but this boycott does seem to be taking hold because of Elon. Tesla's Australian sales slump continues into 2025, so it's not new there. And there's competition as well, increasing competition. Australia and New Zealand, we have BYD cars matching Tesla, even beating Tesla now. So Tesla stock is falling. California might be turning against Elon Musk. So even in the heartland, or traditional heartland of Tesla, where it all started, people are turning against Tesla, and the stock is falling. We'll have to see what happens this week. because it has been falling almost 25%. We can see Tesla sales decline in California with Model 3 plunging 36%. Similar story. It'll be interesting to see figures from other places in the US when those come out. And this from Facts Chaser. This is a presenter on Bloomberg here. There's a video saying that Tesla sales are falling 60%. And in Germany, that is, and Tesla sales crumbling across Europe is just the start of a wave of massive boycotts of US companies due to the vulgar, racist, toxic identity politics of Musk and Trump, who have trashed the American brand. Expect Dow Jones to fall by 25% coming months. So that's the speculation. That's what they're saying. But, you know, they're talking about a wider boycott here of products, but really at the heart of it is Tesla because of Elon Musk. And here's the Tesla stock price just since the 17th of December, really. It's gone down nearly 25%, had a big run up when Trump got elected. But when he actually took office, it's gone down a lot since then. And will it continue? This boycott will be, you know, making headlines. The market won't ignore this. It'll be taking note of this, but a lot of investors are ignoring it at the moment. I've talked to them online, and there's the faithful, the Elon faithful, the Elongelicals are still with him, not boycotting it, and they don't think this is a big deal. But it is a big deal what Elon Musk is doing with DOGE, and we'll get into that soon. So stay to the end of this. You'll see what I mean about this manifesto that he's really got, that he's not talking about. But, you know, some people in politics do know. They're trying to move fast and break things and then rebuild is the basis of it. But we'll have a look at some of the detail on that. But first, Tesla CFO, chairwoman, and Elon's brother sold tens of millions worth of stock. So even Tesla insiders, this is the board. They did flag that they're going to sell some, but they're selling a lot. So the chairwoman of Tesla sold $118 million just in the last 3 months. And there's the evidence for that there. And it's about 300 million, I believe, that they flagged they're selling. And Elon's saying that FSD and robots are coming, and the market cap is going to go up so much, which means the stock price. And these people are selling huge amounts of Tesla stock at the same time that Elon is saying that, but he is a known liar. So it's at the point where, do we believe him or not? The Elongelicals do believe anything he says, and he takes huge risks, and that's possibly why Trump has partnered with him. One of the reasons to move fast and break things in high risk, and maybe he can dump it on Elon if things go wrong, which is kind of the history of what Trump's done. So so-called Dave says, when all you have to depend on from a stock is lies from the CEO, you got nothing. Hundreds of millions of people are boycotting fascist-in-chief at Tesla, Elon Musk. So what other CEO do you know that's so into politics, and especially, you know, more and more far-right politics? And Hazelnut says, nobody wants a swastika. Keep it trending and hurt Elon Musk where he only knows pain, losing money. So it's money and power. It's investors and shareholders and the board should be concerned if this does take hold, if this boycott gets bigger and bigger. It really is where Elon Musk could be hurt in his wealth, which gives him his power. So it will be interesting to see how this does play out. So Nick Williams says, in defense of democracy, there should be a worldwide boycott of Tesla by individuals, by companies, and by governments. Don't buy a Tesla vehicle, even a used one, and don't buy $1 of Tesla stock. So when he says don't buy a used one, some people are selling their Teslas, and we'll see that. A lot of people who were more liberal, and when Elon was liberal, was he just cosplaying as liberal? But he's definitely become radicalized to the right, to the far right, really. And this is retweeting, as a Norwegian citizen, I demand that the Norwegian oil fund sell all shares of Tesla and move away from the US stocks and invest in Europe. We did not survive the Nazi occupation to finance fascist USA. And here's somebody selling their Tesla because of Elon's politics. Victor Guardiola, selling my Tesla Model Y because F Elon Musk. And he's in Austin, Texas, where Elon Musk and Starbase SpaceX is. So right in the neighborhood there. I do not want to drive around looking like I support Elon Musk. And I'm sure there are tens of thousands like me. I think that's true. You know, you look at people, Tesla drivers differently now since Elon's politics, and It would surprise me if it didn't have quite a big impact on sales, and it seems to be starting that way, especially if this Tesla boycott, and that's the hashtag he's tried to get going here. Vote with your dollars, sell your Tesla, cancel your orders, boycott his brand. And we have Ifat Hassan Rizvi here. Sorry if I butchered that name. Customers in Norway have started a boycott campaign against Tesla and termed Elon Musk a Nazi sympathizer. According to recent media reports, Tesla sales already fell by 38% in Norway, and that does seem to be the case from the numbers coming in from January. And there's a poster that I don't know what it says, but I'm sure it's something to do with the boycott. Boycott Tesla, says a Blue View. There are 2 global campaigns urging people to boycott Tesla. A new one just started in Germany because of Musk's fascism, and number 2, an older one because of Elon's self-driving tech hubris. In terms of that, he's been saying that FSD will work for 10 years in a row now, next year for 10 years, and he's saying that this year is the one, and he's trying to get regulations from the Trump administration, or maybe himself going in with DOGE and trying to change regulations. We'll have to see what happens. And there's an article to do with that. Hail Tesla activists call for boycott, and somebody's put that salute, the fascist salute that he did on the side of a Tesla building in the Germany factory there. And here we have Tesla owners, liberal Tesla owners presumably, who bought when Elon was quite different, or seemed quite different in his politics. People are embarrassed to drive, and I've done a separate video about this earlier on. Elon ate my cat. That's to do, obviously, with Trump. When they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Immigrants, and Elon is an immigrant to the US, and made a video about that too. His brother Kimball said they were illegal at the time. He did say that. So oust Elon. I bought this before we knew Elon was crazy, and the anti-Elon sticker as well. Instead of selling it, they're just protesting in that way. Now, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread it to more people. It really does help. Thanks. And to Elon's politics and what he's doing with DOGE and the US government with Trump. And this Reddit poster says, another day, another right lost. A billionaire is collaborating, taking out the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Definitely a man of the people. And Elon saying there, CFPB RIP. So consumer protection, trying to take out that. Is that to do with Tesla products, perhaps? And Maxwell Alejandro Frost says they are blocking members of Congress from entering the Department of Education. Elon is allowed in and not the people. Illegal. So there'll be question marks over whether this kind of thing is illegal. So there's a video here of somebody presumably employed by DOGE, by Elon, stopping US Congress members getting into the building. And that could be illegal depending on how the court cases turn out. And Elon says no such department exists in the federal government, implying that he's cancelled it, or DOGE has cancelled it. And another recent article, WTF is DOGE doing in department in charge of nuclear weapons? Department of Energy tried to clarify why DOGE staff has suddenly got some IT access to a department that oversees the US nuclear stockpile. So this is the news coming out that various departments, many departments in the US government, where DOGE is just going in and moving fast and breaking things, perhaps. That philosophy, and worrying about the consequences later, or not even worrying, as the case may be. They are definitely moving fast. And here we have people fighting back somewhat, people out on the streets. I don't remember seeing Musk's name on the ballot. Why is he in charge? People are asking, and people are mobilizing. Arrest Musk. Nobody elected Elon Musk, and felon, go fork yourself. In case anyone's wondering which group Elon is going after next, this Reddit user says, and Elon putting exclamation marks here, and there was this battle of ideas. My full speech from the battle of ideas arguing that a queer society is a ruined society, and Elon Musk really seeming to endorse that. So is that what they're going to attack next? It wouldn't surprise me bit by bit. It's looking pretty ominous, isn't it? And this here article is really worth reading. I wanted to talk about this. His ultimate goal with DOGE and what he's doing in the government, which he hasn't talked about. He's just talked about efficiency, finding waste, and people are really thinking that's the game here. But if you look deeper, people have been talking about this, And Gil Duran has written this article. He's got a blog called The Nerd Reich, and this one's called Reboot Revealed Elon Musk's CEO Dictator Playbook. Now, this is just a summary of it. I think this is really important considering what's going on. He says the point, in 2022, one of Peter Thiel's favorite thinkers envisioned a second Trump administration in which the federal government would be run by a CEO who was not Trump, and laid out a playbook for how it might work. Elon Musk is following it. So this is why it's important to read this stuff to see what Elon might actually be up to without saying it really publicly. So the backstory: in 2012, Curtis Yarvin, who's had interviews, podcasts lately, he really does say this stuff. Peter Thiel's house philosopher, who really was just started as a software developer and sort of an amateur philosopher, really called for something he dubbed RAGE, retire all government employees. And look what they've been doing lately, trying to retire government employees, as many as possible. The idea: take over the US government and gut the federal bureaucracy. Then replace civil servants with political loyalists who would answer to a CEO-type leader, Yarvin likened to a dictator. So this is the bit. If you think about what are they going to do, they're breaking things, breaking it down, and what will they replace it with, which they haven't said. And this is how they might do it. Democracy kind of out the window. The new reality, he says, analysis: what once seemed like a fringe theory is now being carried out by the corporate powers that have wholly captured our government. While there are some minor differences between Yarvin's approach and Musk, here's the summary of what they have in common. I'll just go through this quickly. There's a few points here about what Musk's doing and what he might do. Musk moves: acts as a federal CEO, demands unilateral control over sensitive government programs, positioning himself as an unelected decision maker as Trump stays in the background. That is exactly what's happening. Number 2 in the agenda: purge the bureaucracy. DOGE is gutting teams, demanding mass resignations, locking employees out of office, and threatening mass layoffs in federal government. Meanwhile, DOGE is recruiting inexperienced young men who owe their loyalty to Musk/Thiel. Thiel has been in the background here, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's talking to Musk. These bro-oligarchs are working together on this. The group of them that have gained power, David Sachs and Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, they really do think this way. Mark Andreessen as well. Build a loyalist army. Musk's move: surrounding himself with young, inexperienced loyalists who enforce his will without question. Project 2025 would also provide Republican cadre to run what's left of the federal government. So they're just trying to strip it away to nothing, and then they'll rebuild it with loyalists. Number 4, dismantle democratic institutions. Yarvin's blueprint here for that. Musk's moves: undermining the credibility of the federal government, downplaying legal oversight, and defying regulatory authorities, dismantling government agencies and functions with no plan for their replacement. So defying regulatory authorities. Now that's key. Musk talks about this. He's questioning it in tweets, and we'll look at that in a minute. Even the courts. And last, number 5, seize media and information control to maintain power. And this is important. Musk moves: buying Twitter, firing journalists, boosting propaganda, and promoting fringe narratives while attacking traditional media, leading the hostile tech takeover as Trump's CEO. Did I miss anything he says? That's pretty comprehensive, and that is what Musk's doing. So it does seem that this agenda they're doing, that it is actually playing out. And people are running around and saying, what's going on here, questioning it, and really not doing much about it, while they just rush forward and do this. And John Cusack, famous actor and activist as well, he talks about it, saying, SCOTUS ruled a president cannot commit a crime while being president. That does not apply to underlings committing crimes on his direct orders. Only he is immune. Musk is not cloaked. Now, this is interesting because it seems like they're trying to get around this. States should move on felonies against Musk ASAP and get him disqualified from taxpayer handouts for his ventures. However, J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance, backed by Peter Thiel, remember that financially, he helped get him elected here. If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. If a judge tried to command the Attorney General in how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power. So what is the executive's legitimate power? This is kind of weasel words here. I think he's trying to get around it, suggesting that they might not have to follow the courts, the legal decisions from judges. And this would be new. This would be different, going really against democracy. He seems to be floating the idea here, and at the point where they just ignore legal decisions. At the moment, some judges have said, no, you can't do that. And the point when they start ignoring that will be a point that seems pretty dangerous here. And we have someone else saying Elon Musk has retweeted this tweet, which suggests that the ruling on DOGE accessing Treasury Department systems should be defied. So Elon Musk suggesting here by retweeting it that they should defy a legal order, defy a judge. And so is this the beginning of that? Now, what to do about this is the question. There's the boycott. This is interesting. I found from the Mercury News, Elon Musk almost needed SFPD wellness check after breakdown, getting booed at Dave Chappelle show. Remember that? He was very surprised by that. He loves to be loved. He needs to be loved, I think. He got to the point where he locked himself in his office, was so upset that Twitter employees feared he would hurt himself. The author of a new book says about the billionaire. So we don't know how true this is, if it's the truth, but he does seem that he needs to be loved. He's got the evangelicals behind him. So he is in this bubble of support, but as soon as somebody goes against him, he tends to not like it. And we have here, Elon is upset that folks have started calling Teslas swastikas. I've seen that. And this activist campaign here in Germany on the factory, apparently he's furious. So a joke there. But really, it seems that this does get to him. So the boycott, he won't like that people aren't buying Teslas anymore if sales go down. And it seems like he doesn't care, but maybe he thinks he's invincible. But this could really have an impact considering all this that's going on. So what do you think about all this? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that a boycott of Tesla is a good idea? Will it affect Elon Musk much? Will it hit him where it hurts? Is it a good idea? Or do you support what he's doing, all of the things he's doing in terms of politics? Let me know. I'm sure there are lots of people out there who still do. But let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're watching this on YouTube, on screen now, I'm going to put a link to a related video. Do go see that now if you want to. And also a subscribe link on screen. Do subscribe if you want to see more of this from me in the very near future. I'm doing these daily at the moment. And thanks to you for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.